Hello again. If you're completing this course in order, you've already been introduced to Google Analytics and Google Ads. In this part of the course, you'll examine how to start collecting measurements in these tools to be able to view the metrics that you want to monitor. The video lessons assume an access level within the tools to view metrics and modify reports. In Google Analytics, this is called the viewer role. In Google Ads, this is called the standard access level. Readings and references provide more information about account setup and other tasks that require a higher level of administrative privileges. The upcoming lessons have been created using the latest version of the tools. Similar tasks can usually be completed in an older version, but keep in mind that there are differences in navigation, menu options, and sometimes feature availability. To monitor metrics, you'll learn to create exploration in Google Analytics and dashboards and scorecards in Google Ads. For what can be described as data in, you'll learn about linking a Google Ads account to Google Analytics to view advertising data in Google Analytics. And for what can be described as data out, you'll learn how to export data from Google Ads and Google Analytics for further analysis. Because analytics tools are capable of collecting a large amount of information, it's important to have selective reporting in place to focus on the metrics that matter the most to your team's digital marketing strategy. You'll want to make sure that you're using the right metrics to lead you to the most accurate and compelling insights. By now, you've had a chance to view and explore reports in the Google Analytics demo account. This video will introduce you to how Google Analytics collects information and what the collected information can tell you. It all starts with events. An event causes data collection to occur in Google Analytics. When a Google Analytics 4 property is initially set up for a website or app, certain events are automatically enabled to collect information. This information includes basic user properties, actions a user takes, and session information. Examples of events that are automatically set up are first visit, when a user first visits a website, and session start, when a user engages with the website. Other events can be enabled by turning on the enhanced measurement feature. Examples of enhanced metrics are page view, when a page loads, file download, when a user clicks a link to a file, and view search results, when a user performs a search on a site. The final types of events are those that are enabled programmatically for a website by a developer. Examples of these are share, which triggers data collection when a user shares content, add to cart, when a user adds an item to a shopping cart, and purchase, when a user completes a purchase. You might not be responsible for creating events, but you should know how to look them up. Going back to the demo account, you can view a list of events for a GA4 property. Click the Configure icon in the navigation panel and select Events. The list of events is in alphabetical order, and you can see some of the events just described, like Add to Cart. Each enabled event has dimensions associated with it. Dimensions are the attributes or characteristics of an event that determine the metrics collected. You can use dimensions to collect how users arrive on a website or app. For example, do they arrive after performing a search or clicking an emailed link? Dimensions also help collect what devices were used to visit a website. If specialized metrics are collected, custom dimensions are added. An example of when a custom dimension is required is when UTM tags are added to URLs. UTM stands for Urchin Tracking Module, named after the Urchin software company that first developed the method. A UTM is a text tag added to a URL to help monitor that content. Here's how it works for an ad campaign. In the first example, UTM source is the source of the traffic to the discount page, and UTM campaign is the name of the campaign. In this case, the UTM tags enable the monitoring of users who click the link to the discount page from Twitter. UTM medium, shown in the second example, tracks the advertising medium, such as email. You can monitor other mediums by replacing email with another form of advertising, such as newsletter. Going back to the demo account, you can view a list of custom dimensions. Click the Configure icon in the navigation panel and select Custom Definitions. You will be in the Custom Dimensions tab by default. Any custom dimensions for UTM tags would be listed here. You previously learned that two important metrics for brand awareness are the number of shares and the number of impressions. If you use Google Analytics to help monitor brand awareness, you would confirm that the share event is enabled to track shared links and that UTM source and UTM campaign tags are added to URLs that can be shared. You would also confirm that custom dimensions for these UTM tags are configured in Google Analytics. And lastly, you would confirm that the page view event is enabled to monitor the number of impressions for content marketing pages. Earlier in the program, you also learned that conversion rate is an important metric for email campaigns. The conversion rate is the percentage of email recipients who clicked a link in an email and then made a purchase. To use Google Analytics to help monitor their conversion rate for an email campaign, confirm that the purchase event is configured. Confirm that UTM medium and UTM campaign tags have been added to URLs shared in emails. And confirm that custom dimensions for these UTM tags are configured in Google Analytics. You can view custom campaign information in the Traffic Acquisition Report under Acquisition. Using the demo account, scroll down to the lower half of the report and change Session Source per Medium to Session Medium in the drop-down menu. Email is listed as one medium. Next, locate the Conversions column and change all events to Purchase in the drop-down menu. You can view the number of conversions for email in the row for email. To calculate the conversion rate for the email campaign, divide the number of conversions for email by the total number of conversions shown in bold under the conversions header. These examples show how metrics can be collected for social media and email campaigns. With UTM and custom dimensions, it's possible to track the impact that social media or email has on a campaign when the content is reposted or forwarded many times. Keep in mind that individual requirements will vary by campaign and that what you see in Google Analytics will vary based on what you are measuring. These are just examples in the demo. That was a lot of technical information for Google Analytics. You can always replay the video if you missed some of the details. Being familiar with how the data is collected will give you greater confidence working with the metrics. Up until now, you have worked with the general reports in Google Analytics. In this video, you'll learn about the Explorations feature so you can create custom reports. Explorations are also a good way to perform quick queries on the data to validate something you think could be happening. Google Analytics provides a template gallery to help people get started. In the gallery, you can find templates for freeform, funnel, path, segment, cohort, or user lifetime explorations. These styles are referred to as techniques. The freeform technique uses a table or chart to visualize the data. Funnel exploration visualizes the steps users take towards a conversion. Path exploration visualizes the steps that users take to progress from one stage in the customer journey to the next. Segment overlap shows how user segments relate to each other. Cohort exploration shows the data for users that have been organized into groupings by their common attributes. And lastly, user lifetime shows customer behavior and value over time. The quickest way to see how explorations work in the demo account is to open an existing exploration that is demo listed as the owner. Then make a copy. In your copy, you can then play with the segments, dimensions, and metrics to see what happens to an exploration. Let's open a demo exploration right now using the GA4 property for the Google Merchandise Store. Click the Explore icon. Now double-click the checkout behavior funnel exploration in the list that is owned by demo. It's a read-only exploration that shows a breakdown of users by device for each step in the checkout process. Locate and click the Make a Copy icon to make a copy of this exploration so you can make changes to it. You can now make changes to the copy of the exploration. For example, if you'd rather see a breakdown of first-time users who went through the checkout process by the medium that brought them to the site, click the X to remove device category from breakdown. Then drag and drop first user medium under dimensions to the breakdown field. You should now see the updated data in the exploration. You can also compare the checkout behavior for direct and paid traffic. Drag and drop direct traffic under segments to segment comparisons. Then repeat the process and drag and drop paid traffic under segment comparisons. The data will automatically update to show the comparison. As you have seen, when you create an exploration from a template, you can drag and drop items from the segments, dimensions, or metrics categories in the variables column to fields in the tab settings column for display. But if you create an exploration by choosing blank instead of a template, no items are available in the variables column. Let's click the back button to exit the current exploration and choose blank. Here you must click the plus icons to create the variables before you can drag and drop them into the tab settings column for display. You must build new segments. You must select which dimensions to include. For example, click to expand the custom dimensions category to see what you can select. You must also choose which metrics to include. For example, click to expand the event category to see what you can select. Variables are really blank until you add them. The steps to create and work with explorations are quite detailed, so feel free to replay this video as a review. You can also make copies of other demo explorations and practice working with them to get a better idea of what they display. Next, you'll be ready to create your own explorations from scratch. With so many variables to work with, explorations will satisfy your curiosity, help you visualize metrics, and help you discover valuable insights. In a previous guided orientation of Google Ads, you were introduced to the dashboard and scorecard capabilities. Now, you will learn how to work with individual metrics. In the campaigns page, you can control which metrics are displayed by selecting them. Being able to select metrics is useful when you want to view metrics at different stages of the marketing funnel. In this video, you'll learn to select and display metrics that are commonly evaluated for the awareness, consideration, and conversion stages of the marketing funnel. Here is the campaigns page in Google Ads. At the awareness stage of the marketing funnel, metrics you would likely monitor are clicks and impressions. The clicks column shows the number of clicks for a campaign, and the impressions column shows the number of times potential customers saw the ads in a campaign. If these columns aren't already displayed, you can add them. These metrics are located in the performance section, which you can expand to mark the checkboxes for clicks and impressions. After applying the changes, the columns for clicks and impressions are displayed. At the consideration stage of the marketing funnel, you would likely monitor the click-through rate, or CTR, and the interaction rate. The CTR is a percentage of clicks only, while the interaction rate is a percentage of clicks, swipes, and any other interactions with images, text, or extensions. Going back to the performance metrics section, you can click to add these metrics. After applying the changes, the columns for CTR and interaction rate are displayed. Finally, at the conversion stage of the marketing funnel, you would likely monitor the number of conversions, cost, conversion value per cost, and conversion rate. As a reminder, a conversion happens when a potential customer takes a desired action. In most cases, that action is a purchase. Cost is the investment made on campaign ads. Conversion value per cost estimates the return on investment. It's calculated by dividing the total conversion value by the total cost of all ad interactions. And finally, conversion rate is the average number of conversions per ad interaction. To add these metrics, expand the conversion section of the campaign page. After you select the checkboxes, click Apply. The additional columns for these 4 metrics are now displayed. That sure was a lot to take in, but you can now feel more comfortable starting to work in Google Ads or other similar tools. Monitoring campaign metrics, campaign budgets, and how potential customers are progressing through the different stages of the marketing funnel are all essential skills for marketing roles that you'll be pursuing. Data from other platforms can be displayed in Google Analytics after accounts are linked. Linking accounts lets you view data in Google Analytics so you don't have to switch back and forth between platforms. Non-Google platforms can be linked, including Databox, Firebase, HubSpot, MailChimp, and many more. This video will demonstrate how to link a Google Ads account to Google Analytics. Linking a Google Ads account to Google Analytics enables you to have a more complete view of the marketing funnel in one place, from clicks in the awareness stage of the funnel, all the way down to the conversion rate in the conversion stage of the funnel. Products offered on e-commerce websites have different sales cycles. There may be seasonal trends that make certain products spike and then drop in sales. Other products may need an extended amount of time for customers to make a purchase. As users make buying decisions, they may visit multiple times, leave items in the shopping cart, and only return if prompted by an ad. Another benefit of linking Google Ads to Google Analytics is being able to combine the conversion data from Google Ads with the audience demographics in Google Analytics. Then you'll know which audience to spend more budget on in future campaigns. To link a Google Ads account, you must have an administrative account on Google Ads. You must also have the editor role for the Google Analytics property. The Google account you use must be the same on both platforms. Linking can be established in either direction. In other words, you can sign in to Google Ads and link to Google Analytics, or sign into Google Analytics and link to Google Ads. Linking from Google Ads to Google Analytics is more straightforward, so that's what you'll learn to do now. To link a Google Ads account, click the icon for linking. Locate linked accounts and open the details for Google Analytics. Find your Google Analytics account in the list and click to link the accounts. Remember that the linking goes both ways. You will now be able to see the metrics from this Google Ads account when you sign into Google Analytics. You will also be able to see the metrics from Google Analytics in the campaigns report in Google Ads. You learn that attribution is the act of assigning credit for conversions. In Google Analytics, marketers often choose the cross-channel last-click model, which attributes 100% of a conversion to the last channel that a customer clicked through before converting. After a Google Ads account is linked to Google Analytics, you can also select to view an Ads Preferred attribution model that attributes 100% of the conversion to the last Google Ads channel that a customer clicked through before converting. After a Google Ads account is linked to Google Analytics, you can compare attribution models in Google Analytics. During campaigns, you can view different attributions side by side for different perspectives on conversion. Go to the Model Comparison Report in the Advertising section of Google Analytics. Here you can see the difference in attribution between the cross-channel last-click and Ads Preferred model. This video covered data coming into Google Analytics, specifically data coming in from Google Ads. You're now ready to explore data going out, or how to export data from both of these tools to spreadsheets in another lesson. Data from Google Ads and Google Analytics can be exported to CSV files for analysis in spreadsheets. Data from Google Analytics can also be exported to other platforms like BigQuery, which is Google's data warehouse in the cloud. This video will demonstrate how to export data to CSV files. CSV stands for comma-separated values and is a file format in which a comma is placed between each data value in the file. When a CSV file is opened, each value goes into a unique cell in a spreadsheet. You'll be able to view the contents of an exported CSV file in a spreadsheet later in this video. Let's start with Google Ads. One reason you might want to export data from Google Ads by campaign is so you can keep an archive of data from past campaigns for analysis and comparison. Here's how you export campaign data from Google Ads. First, go to your list of current and past campaigns. Before you select a campaign, verify, and if required, change the time period for the data you want from that campaign. The default setting is the last 30 days. You can make the report go back even further by changing the start date. Make sure that the data columns include all the data you want to export. If you need to add another column of data, click the columns icon to add it. After you have confirmed the campaign report includes what you need, check the box for the campaign and select to download the data as a CSV file. There are also options to export the data to different file formats, such as PDF. Here is what the data from the campaign looks like in the CSV file. In Google Analytics, you can share a report. When you share a report, you copy the link to the report and share that link with others. Anyone you share the link with must have the viewer role in Google Analytics to view the data. Let's say you want to share the report snapshot. If you click the share icon, you can copy the link to your clipboard and paste it into an email, text message, or even a presentation to share with others. You can also export the data to a CSV or PDF file. The procedure is similar to exporting data from Google Ads. To export, choose Download File instead of Share Link. Here is what the data from the report snapshot looks like in the CSV file. Exporting data from analytics tools like Google Ads and Google Analytics enables you to preserve your data for future analysis. You can compare the data with the data from other campaigns. Surprisingly, the data can sometimes reveal new discoveries from an analysis of historical trends.
Congratulations on finishing this video from the Google Digital Marketing and E-commerce Certificate. Access the full experience on Coursera, including job search help, and start earning the official certificate by clicking the icon or the link in the description. Watch the next video in the course by clicking here, and subscribe to our channel for more lessons from Google Career Certificates.